Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Oosh Brothers podcast. If you are seeing us on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, it's actually only those two places. I can't be bothered to pay the subscription for anywhere else. So if you're seeing us on Spotify or YouTube, hello and welcome. This is the first video portion of the podcast, first video episode, I should say, that we've ever had. I wonder how different it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be very different at all. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, let's just see what happens, man.
Let's do some ASMR for the viewers.
Let's not
and see
and
what
say
happens.
we did. Let's just not and say we did. I think it's probably for the best.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna shove a cream egg up my ass. It's gonna be great.
What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be drinking my Coke Vanilla No Sugar.
People would pay good money for that. They would pay disgusting money for that.
Delicious.
Oh, yuck. It's just...
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird genre.
I can only stage whisper. I think that's the difference. Is like, when I try to whisper, there's emphasis behind it because I'm so used to stage whispering, whereas actual whispering just makes me nervous.
I'm just a sensual dude.
I operate on a level of sensualness.
Yeah, shit, yeah. I'm just a pale, sensual dude that's, I'll whisper a vine to the missus.
Yeah.
And just like the body's hitting the floor, the panties be hitting the floor if you catch my drift.
They be dropping.
Yeah.
Right, so brushing past that, let's do the daily check-ins. I was actually talking to Curtis this week, one of our more loyal listeners, because big up Kurt. He came out to see me at CBK.
I'm getting a call.
Oh, really?
Oosh.
Sorry about that,
Right,
team.
so no, that's cool. Coming back from the quickest fucking break ever. I would have snipped it, and it would have been like oosh, and then we'd be back into it anyway. So it's not a big deal. Anyway, Louis had to take the most important phone call of his entire fucking life just now, and now we're back. So we're stoked. We're stoked to be back online. Let's say.
I'm always online, but it's good to see you again, even though I'm looking at my face cam. But
I'm also looking at my face cam. Yeah. It's good to see us again. But no, so I was talking to Curtis on Thursday. He
Kurt?
came out to. He's already had a double shout out.
He gets another one.
Okay, what up, Kurt? What's up, dude?
Triple shout out. Triple shout. Trip shout.
We were talking
Trow?
at...
No, stop.
I've completely lost my train of thought. We were talking at CBK because he came out to see me. I play there every Thursday. He came out to see me.
Catch the rugby people every Thursday at CBK Masterton.
I mean, like, the three people that listen to this podcast, one of them already comes to see me every Thursday anyway. So that's
but
a
you
pretty
never
good
know.
Return.
New
it's
listeners.
A good ROI, return on investment.
Yeah.
Fuck! I completely forgot what we were talking about now. Well, how did we? What
you were talking to Kurt while you're at CBK performing.
About what though? About what?
I don't know. You were talking to him.
See, this is the issue. Is I started talking and then there was a phone call and now I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Good. All right. So, sorry, I do remember now. We were talking about the daily check-ins because when this first kicked off, it was a very Scrutinize the Week-esque podcast, and it was like we would have news stories to talk about. There would be things that we would, discuss over the course of the podcast or whatever. But as it stands, it seems to be that
just a couple of bros broing down for an hour.
We just bro down. And, people are into it. I didn't realize this, but, people just, the weird shit that happens in our lives, people are just like, oh, yeah, that's chill. And,
I feel like because a lot of people will see the news and all that stuff on their Instagram feeds and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, do they really need two random white dudes from New Zealand to also talk about it? It's like, no, they just want to hear about what we're doing, what we're jamming, masturbation, shit like that, Sometimes you just got to get one off to fully focus. It's a real thing.
Post-nut clarity is a state of zen
If
Buddhists
I'm like,
try to achieve.
If I'm like, I need to edit, let me just quickly get one off first, and then I'll be ready to go. Because otherwise I won't be able to focus properly.
That's right.
Yeah,
100%. Now they can see us nodding because we have video now. What up? You can see us nodding when we agree with things. I'm
actually listening to Big X the Plug's back on my BS because that's a... No, I'm not. But I'm headbanging most of the time anyway, so...
So, in talking about the daily check-ins, weekly check-ins, as it were, fucking, how's it? What have you been up to? Like, how's the new job?
Good.
Have you caught the bus recently? How was that?
I have.
Yeah.
No, work's new job's good. I took today off because on a reel after yesterday's shenanigans with the family.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be asked, and I also wanted to get some YouTube stuff done, which I hadn't been able to do.
Yeah.
Because we only have the one PC and we take turns, and so I'm looking at some point in the near future getting her own, so I can be like, oh look, it's my PC again.
It wouldn't have to be very high powered to just play Sims either. Like,
no, it wouldn't. But it has to be like it has to be a certain aesthetic. It has to be. It's got to look good. You know, like I mean, mine's just like as it's a standard case. It's a black case. I don't even. Yeah,
I was like, I don't even see my computer half the time. I've just got a standard black master cooler case.
Yeah, it's a standard case with a glass side, so I can see all my components. But this one's got to have RGBs, obviously, because even though this has RGBs, but that's just the fans. But it's got to have the RGBs. It's got to be a certain color to match the color of the keyboard and the mouse.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have the space, so I kind of have to wait
until... Just go full, like, Pink Pony Club stock standard.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking...
Shit, yeah.
You actually only live, like, 3 or 4 blocks from PB Tech.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, man. Honestly, like, I was thinking about this today, because I watched a video on Dick Smith, and how that was like a dynasty. Because I remember Dick Smith here in Masterton, right? And I remember that being one of the shops that I spent most of my time in when we were kids.
Do you remember those? They had those balls, and you could like twist them and open them up, and there'd be 2 like stands for your laptop, so there'd be better airflow.
Yeah. Did you? Mum had like 3 or 4 sets of those. I wonder if she still got any of them.
Because I was talking to Grey Dog, who doesn't listen, but shout out Grey Dog.
Yeah.
He, I was talking about it because I used to jam TF2 all the time, but I didn't have a PC. He had a PC. I had the Toshiba laptops that we got for Christmas.
Yeah.
And
oh my God.
I would go around to his house and I'd be playing TF2 on my laptop, and it would crash because it would overheat. And then I was like, oh, this little Dick Smith ball that breaks in half, it's a game changer. And it got me maybe 5 more minutes of gameplay before it would just shut down.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, that 5 minutes, just solid work, really. It did its job. It did its job.
Yeah. But no, I was thinking about the prospect that in Masterton, the only real tech shop that we have, if you can call it that, is J-Car. And even then, because it's very basic.
It's more of a hobby shop.
It's not even it's more of a hobby shop now, but like it's still selling shit like landline stuff and like Cat 6 cable and plastic packaging and all this kind of shit. It's just like, I don't like, if I want some some tech for my computer, like say I want to go in there, hey man, have you got fucking 16 gigabyte sticks of DDR RAM? No, but I can order it in for you. Why the fuck would I wait around? Like, if I'm going to order it in from you, I may as well. Day. Exactly. I may as well get it from PB Tech, have it shipped over the next day. I could ring you, get you to go pick it up for me. Like, it'd be way easier to just do it myself. Whereas when there was Dick Smith here, they had gaming shit. They had CDs at the time. The CDs were great. They had like even a small selection of like comic books and graphic novels and shit. It was like an upmarket EB Games. Sorry, BB Games. Ooh, BB Games.
Hang on. Is that a secret announcement that we're about to make?
Honestly, if enough people gave a fuck, I would definitely start a gaming channel. But unfortunately, they don't. So like,
my channel is just going to be about games from now on. I've got the video up in the editor. It's about 10 minutes and 40 seconds so far, with about 17 minutes left of raw footage. And I'm currently playing through some games, recording those, writing some scripts. I
can't wait to see your Nakey Jakey style video. Like, I actually can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's just a lot of the videos will probably be similar to that in terms of style, but instead of the 6'4" handsome dude that's decent at CS2, it's just going to be this 6'1" fat ass dude with a beard that's gassy. So I mean, like, in terms of the direction I took with the YouTube stuff, it's very much a big tug style of video. But Jesus Christ, the first yawn of the podcast. The difference is that I choose to talk about other subjects that don't pertain to what he talks about. So, like, he will talk about why air travel sucks. He made a video about shoes. He made a video about shout out Scotland Airport. No.
Oh my god.
Edinburgh Airport.
Edinburgh Airport can go fuck itself. That was awful. It was an awful experience. But so I've taken it one step further and gone, okay, well, what's my passion? What's my, like, what do I enjoy? And now that you can see what's going on behind me, you can see that it's very fucking clearly pop culture. Like, porn. Did you say corn or porn?
Porn.
Oh, you did say porn. Okay. Porn.
Miss Flynn.
As you can see behind me, it's pop culture, right? Like, that's where I'm at with it. So I take those sorts of concepts and I double down. So, like, the latest video I put out was, oh god, fucking hell, the real skeletons. It's gonna be a bit fucking hectic today, I'd imagine. The lost skeletons of Hollywood, or stolen skeletons of Hollywood. About all the times that Hollywood has used corpses. There's not alive corpses. In movies. But yeah, so I mean, like, the next one is Batman versus the KKK. And then cool. But the one I'm really excited about that comes out after, Superman versus the KKK. The one that comes out after that is the movie that killed John Wayne. And I'm super excited about it because it's got, like, it features obviously John Wayne. Howard Hughes was one of the producers on the film. It was incredibly racist even for its time. So this is like 63, 64 maybe. And it was called The Conqueror. And John Wayne...
He plays Genghis Khan, doesn't he?
He plays Genghis fucking Khan, which is super... Wayne, it's so fucked up.
One of the whitest dudes in history.
But the worst bit... Yeah. But one of the worst bits of the whole thing, outside of the vehement racism, is the fact that 10 years before that, in 1953, they did a bunch of nuclear testing in Utah. And all of that fallout was still there, like 137 miles from the testing site. They had, like, essentially radioactive sand, and there's a bunch of extras and other bits and pieces rolling around in the sand, filming fucking videos and shit.
Yeah.
And 41% of people who worked on the film contracted cancer.
Nice.
25% of those people died of it. So John Wayne died of stomach cancer. He also had lung cancer. Like, he smoked 6 packs a day. Like, he was... I don't think there's enough credible evidence to say that this movie actually killed him as such, but I believe it to be a catalyst. So, like, it's not a clickbait title. It has some credence, but it doesn't have, like, a full-on like scientific breakdown of this is exactly what happened, because he got lung cancer before he got stomach cancer, but the female lead that he quote unquote fell in love with died of uterine cancer, and there's like a lot of the lead roles died of some form of cancer, but then you expound on that, right, and it's like the variables that they don't talk about. So you could find a correlation between shark attacks and the sales in ice cream. And the reason why you can find that correlation is because there's a variable that's missing, and that's warm weather. You know, like if the weather is warm, you might go get an ice cream and you might go to the beach. Or you might do one or the other, right? So if you're in a place that experiences sharks, so Sydney, let's say Bondi Beach, and you go in and got yourself an ice cream. There was a teenager who lost a leg last week. Out at one of Sydney's beaches, and the correlation between a rise in shark attacks and the sale of ice cream can be attributed to the fact that it was a summer's day. Similar to that of radioactive sand, you know, like there's a rise in cancer, but they were literally rolling around in radioactive sand.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Family Guy when Adam West tries to get superpowers because the Griffin family gets superpowers, and he rolls around in radioactive waste, and Dr. Hartman's just like, you have cancer.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to get superpowers. That's what I think of, but that's because I've got that like 2015 MLG dank brain rot where it's hit markers and Thomas the dank engine kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Fucking recently, just at random, I will be vocally stimming, you know, for all of my neurodiverges out there. But it's Mr. Booze. Which of course was it was like a Rat Pack movie that had Bing Crosby in it originally. They sang it. And
because it was Bing Crosby, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin.
Yeah, so that's the Rat Pack.
And some other guys. There was actually, I think, originally there was like 5 or 6 of them. And then it was just down to... Because of the Rat Pack, it was like the, you know, the whole Ocean's 11, like the modern remake?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they did
so
that
like
as well.
In the 60s, that was like the Rat Pack was...
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them. And, but yeah, no, I do that, and, because I've been rewatching a bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I do the old cool, yeah. Or the, just like the okay, and it just kind of like gets me back into rhythm, I guess you could say.
Yeah, me and my wife will walk past each other and just be like, "Yeah, Jag," like, and it's, you know, we that's still to this day our comfort show. Like in the evenings,
oh, 100%.
In particular we want to watch or whatever, we just chuck Brooklyn Nine-Nine on and away we go. Like it's
after I've been rewatching it, but I have skipped over some episodes just because it can be cringe.
Yeah, there are some parts that are a little bit monotonous.
Which one did I skip over? I think the one where they go to meet Jake's mum, and I was because there's one cringe bit where Amy Santiago does the itsy bitsy spider, and I was like, nah, I can't.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna give the whole episode a miss.
Yeah, well, because I think that's like, because it's not exactly timeless, right? The things are going to crop up. Like there are certain shows that to some people are timeless, right? Friends is a good example. You can always watch Friends, and there's
If you look past how the actors behave nowadays, because a lot of them are supporters of Israel, bastards.
We also have spoken about this on the podcast before, about the separation of art from artist, because there are some people out there who are tremendous pieces of shit, but they will produce some incredible stuff, whether it be acting or music or whatever it might be. So the part for me that I sort of struggle with a little bit, I think, is I didn't like Friends to begin with. You know, like that's something for me where I'm just like, I could take it or leave it. I put Friends in the same category as Seinfeld, and there's a lot of people who absolutely adore Seinfeld. I don't get it. I don't know if I'm just not old enough.
I think
to get it
with like Seinfeld and Friends. Like so, Friends is, it's. I mean, like there are some pretty decent episodes in there. Like overall, it's like a pretty average series. But I think it's just kind of the way they interact with each other. With certain events, like in later seasons, it got pretty fucking cringe. Like there was a whole episode based on Monica believing that Chandler was masturbating to sharks, and it was like, what the fuck's the point of that? And like the whole phrase of a show jumping the shark, like they pretty much just did that with that.
Is that what they were trying to achieve? Was jumping the shark?
No, I don't think. I think it's kind of difficult for a show to know when they've jumped the shark, because that whole thing started with Happy Days.
Yeah.
When there was an episode where the Fonz literally jumped a shark, and I was like, okay, so Happy Days is no longer about teenagers in a diner. It's about the Fonz doing some fucking crazy shit. And
no, so the sentiment of jump the shark was for it to move past that self-imposed glass ceiling that a lot of series put themselves in, where Happy Days had kind of painted itself into a corner, and that was pretty much it. Like that was the way that like that's the way that people saw it, was that it was going to be a that is just going to be kids in a diner, and they're just going to have teenage problems, and there's just going to be blah 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 blah. So in order for them to move past that, they needed to, do something spectacular that was going to put them back on the map so that they didn't fall off the relevance scale, I guess. And unfortunately, they chose to make Henry Winkler jump a literal shark while he was wearing a leather jacket and board shorts.
Yeah.
Which is hard as fuck. I will not lie to you. Like, if you
in retrospect, that is hard as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Because he kept
wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, that fucks. Like that's honestly, the Fonz was always cool. That was the difference. Is the Fonz was always cool.
So he was so cool. Family Guy gave him his own religion. Like in the episode where Peter becomes confused about being a Catholic, and then he tries all these different religions, and then he settles on making his own, which is it's called Fonzieism. And then he has his church in a barn, and then people come to check it out because it's it's just all about togetherness. It's a great episode, honestly, one of my favorite Family Guy episodes. It's a season 4 episode, so it's going to be good because that was their best season. Yeah.
One surprising thing that I never thought I'd get to do is I started singing some of the songs from I can't remember the name of the episode, but Peter and Quagmire have the acoustic duo.
Oh, yeah.
And I started singing... started singing some of those songs, and it got in my wife's head. And then she started singing some of the songs. She's like, what's that from? And I was like, weirdly, it's actually Family Guy. So I showed her some of the clips, and she was like, oh, okay, this is kind of funny. And I was like, I know. Like, I would like to show you some more at some stage. She was like, oh... Some of the humor's a bit too crude and yada yada yada. I was like, yeah, no, I get that, but there are some like golden episodes with some really good comedy in it. Like, but yeah, so like I still to this day, when they did the clone episode, and it's like tried to sharpen a pencil in my bum and now I need a
band-aid.
Yeah, and that still gets me every time.
Yeah.
And because
did you wash my car like I asked? No, but I hit it with a rock.
And that's like, I mean, for me, timelessness is sort of indicative of how a show chooses to be malleable with its surroundings, like in terms of time, right? So The Simpsons have done a terrible job. There are people that are just brain dead fucking followers that will say, "Oh, The Simpsons has evolved beautifully," and they've gone with the times. Like Lisa started using Maple products as like a direct ripoff of Apple, and I'm like, yeah, but why? Oh, because that's that's what's funny. That's what's in pop culture. Is like, why is it funny though? I understand South Park taking the human centipede idea and the human Sentai pad thing, that was funny. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it is a relatable premise for signing up to shit without reading the terms and conditions first. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then using that for some morbid fucking shit that happens much, much later on in the episode. That is funny. Like I'm not a big South Park guy, but that episode was legitimately hilarious.
Oh yeah, I have watched a lot of South Park, and I do like their first season as well. Like it's just a really it's just an interesting watch because it's still pretty funny, and it's just kind of strange to watch nowadays as well because it's just like a lot of pretty standard crude humor, but with no modern day references to anything. But now the show has evolved into a commentary on life, essentially.
Yeah. I'm not saying that like modern day references should be stricken and they should be stuck in one period of time. But like Lisa uses an iPad is not funny. Like that premise is not funny. Like
when it becomes the whole point of the show, that's when you've lost it.
Yeah, but that's like that was her whole thing was like, I think the episode had something to do with like her iPad broke and they were trying to get a replacement, but no one was helping her, and so they were going to all these different stores, and they end up going to like the headquarters of Maple or whatever, and the fake Steve Jobs basically tells her to take a hike, and that's how we make our money and all this kind of shit. So very thinly veiled social commentary with the whole episode surrounding, oh no, Lisa's iPad broke. That's dumb. Like I'm not here for that. So like that's season like 28 as well or some stupid shit. I stopped, and this is like I'm gonna sound like such a fucking dick for this, but I stopped watching anything after like season 15. Season 18 at a stretch, and then I've been ridiculed by friends and family alike for not enjoying later seasons of The Simpsons, but respectfully, the people that are throwing that shade at me, just not very intelligent people.
I think I've gone to like season 13. Maybe an episode in, but like season that's probably where it's still good in my opinion. Like even though there's a really interesting video about it by I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but he basically talks about the golden era of The Simpsons when it was like from season 3 to like season 9. Like those seasons where it was like where every episode was like almost every episode was incredible, and it was well written, well acted, well developed. And then you get to season 10 and it like basically Homer becomes an actual idiot. Like he's an idiot in seasons 3 through 9 and even before that. But like in season 10 he becomes almost brain dead. Like he gets like the whole
jerk ass Homer.
Yeah, the essay by the panda kind of thing. Like that would never happen to Homer from seasons 3 through 9, but then season 10 hits and he, gets mauled.
Yeah. Ugh. And that's like I think I've seen that same video because he introduces like a rating system and there's like from seasons 3 through 9 there is only 2 or 3 episodes that are below the threshold of like 8 out of 10. And 2 out of 3 of those episodes are Lisa episodes. So, like, it's,
thanks, Meg.
Yeah, I don't like being that guy. But, like, when you've got the nominal straight man and the comic relief, which is essentially what Bart and Lisa are to each other, and then Marge is the same as Homer's counterpart. She's the logical straight man to his comic relief. When you take away the comic relief side of it and go, let's give them an episode where they're learning about something. Let's give them an episode where they can feel. It's like, no, like this isn't fun for me. Like, I think one of the episodes was when they find out that Jebediah Springfield is actually
a piece of shit.
A piece of shit, yeah. So like, but it's all about how disappointed she is. I don't give a fuck. It's most historical figures were pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, that did have some good jokes in that episode, though.
George Washington was a piece of shit. And that's like one of the hardest pills for a lot of people to swallow. Andrew Jackson had like several.
Oh, he was awful.
He was awful. Like mixed race children with slaves that he raped and shit. Like he was a fucking terrible person.
Yeah.
And that's like, I feel like that's the difference here is like, there's this pedestal that these people get put on, and it's like, oh, let's hold them in a high esteem. And it's the same with the sort of shit that comes out of these fucking episodes. Like, it doesn't feel like they're doing it for the right reasons.
No.
In later episodes especially. Sorry, I got off topic a little bit there, but like, in later episodes especially, that it's like a juggernaut, right? It's too big to fail. Like that's kind of how the Simpsons is viewed.
If there's a simple way to put it, you see clips of older episodes of The Simpsons on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You don't see clips of newer episodes on
Very
Instagram
similar.
or on TikTok.
Yeah,
the one episode that's still... There's 2 episodes that'll bring tears to my eyes and that I've cried at, and that's in Maggie Makes 3, which is in season 9, I think.
Yep.
And then the one about Homer's Mother Simpson or whatever it is.
Yeah, Mother Simpson.
Those 2 episodes, they actually bring me to tears because it's like Homer,
relatable.
like, yeah, and I don't have any kids, but it's like it's watching Homer put himself through all that trouble for his kids.
Yep.
And then also have a mother, but have that taken away from him so quickly before he could even properly appreciate it. Yep. And then that last scene where he's just sitting and staring at the stars, and then that sad music plays, it gets me every single time.
That was my phone wallpaper for like 5 years.
Yeah, same.
Like, yeah. And it's that same sort of thing. Sort of like, man, so I didn't want this to be what I thought it was going to be, but like, so I started therapy, and
cool.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of repressed shit that I've like not really given too much thought to over the years, and there were a couple of instances with Mum when we were kids, like in terms of, I don't want to say abandonment, but abandonment. You know what I mean? Like asking to move back from Australia and being told no, that it was better for us over there and all that kind of stuff. And knowing that I wasn't enjoying myself and I wasn't happy there was like, there was a whole lot of unchecked resentment that I was trying to work through, that I've now sort of like moved past it, if that makes sense. But it was that initial like... So yeah, the Mother Simpson thing is the Mother Simpson thing is crazy because that's exactly the sentiment. Like it's there's an abandonment that is never atoned for. And like I don't want to be telling tales out of school or anything, but obviously people very close to us are going through the same thing, where the abandonment issues from the mother have never gone checked, and unfortunately for people that we know will never go checked because of of events. And that's the kind of thing where it's sort of like I do feel a bit shit for them, and trying to get that checked for myself and that kind of shit as well. But yeah, the relatability I think plays such an important part in like emotional relationship building with a series for sure. Like the father son dynamic in Brooklyn Nine-Nine between Jake and Captain Holt.
R.I.P. Andre Brower.
Big
Andre
R.I.P.
Brower. Yeah.
Brower.
And also the guy, speaking of, because there's 2 guys from the original Fantastic Four movies. So I think his name was Jules or Julian McMahon.
Yeah,
who
Julian,
played Doctor Doom, passed away recently. And Andre Brower was in the second one. He played like an army general or something.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Yeah,
I haven't seen it in ages.
I was watching a clip because they were talking, I think the Silver Surfer appeared and they were talking to the Fantastic Four. And he's there and I'm like,
oh, no way. Yeah.
What's up? Big RIP, sorry.
Oh, because we rewatched The Truman Show a few months ago, and
Great
Scully's
movie.
in that one. He is like, so when they're watching...
he's one of the guards. He's one of the guards.
He is.
Yeah, I remember now, yeah.
Same haircut, looks exactly the same, and it's cool how you sort of find these little Easter eggs. Like, it doesn't matter what I watch Melissa Fumero in now, she's always going to be Amy Santiago, which I feel like she's kind of unfortunately typecast herself a little bit from that series.
Yeah, that's the same with Friends. Like a lot of those characters did that. Like Matt LeBlanc will always be Joey, no matter what else he tries to do. He will be Joey. Jennifer Aniston was fortunate enough to avoid that because she was already kind of a decently sized star before then. Same with Courtney Cox because she was an Ace Ventura.
Yeah, smoking fucking hot as well. Like that's kind of the difference there. Like
and David Schwimmer was. I mean, he'll still be Ross, but he was also like a big like a Broadway star actually before Friends started.
So his dramatic acting's fucking amazing. Like if you get a chance to check out the follow
Band
up
of Brothers.
Oh, Goosebumps! I was gonna go with Goosebumps. Like his most recent sort of. Jaunt.
He was Robert Kardashian in
I was just about to say
American Crime Story, a great series.
OJ versus or the People versus OJ or whatever. He did amazing with that role.
I've rewatched that series so many times. I don't know why, but it is just such a really good watch.
I don't know, and it's one of those things that, especially if it's based on a true story and stuff, I find myself going, oh, I wonder if it's going to end differently this time, knowing full well that it's not. And I've seen it multiple times. I always go like, they're going to convict OJ this time. No, Ryan, they're not. Like that's kind of the vibe. Like,
I remember we went to see the Elvis movie in Masterton. And it was that, it was the thing where he's like planning this big world tour. And he's about to go to Vegas. And I swear to God, we were both in the cinema. It was just us two. And you were like, don't go. When he's about to go to Vegas. And you were like, don't go. I was like, it's a fucking movie, dog. We know how it ends.
So it's an involuntary response. And this is something I've dealt with my entire life. And Dean still gives me shit for it. If I am enjoying myself, if I am engrossed in a movie, I will nod my head when someone in the movie asks a question, or if I'm really into it and I don't feel like anyone can hear me, I will answer on their behalf, not in character or anything fucking weird like that, but it's enough for me to be like, okay, I'm hoping that this is the scenario, knowing full well about Elvis's history and knowing full well that he never did a world tour and he stayed in Vegas until he died. In the back of my mind, I'm like, would have been really cool if he came to New Zealand. Like,
you denied
not that I would have.
I remember asking you, and you're like, no, I didn't say that. Fuck you. You gaslit me. I was like,
of course.
He didn't say that. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, he definitely fucking did, because I was there.
Yeah, I just don't want to come across as a fucking weirdo. But unfortunately.
Because I don't do that, but we went and saw the F1 movie last night, which actually kind of ripped. It actually kind of ripped. It was. I get engrossed in movies, but I like to talk about them during the movie. So like,
you're the worst kind of person.
I love talking and I love movies. It's bad. We're going to see the Superman movie on Friday, and I'm like, and the missus asked me, she said, why are they making another one? And I was like, well, it's technically a different story.
But I'm looking forward to the pageantry, because they're doing a similar sort of thing with the Fantastic Four movie, where it's kind of 50/60s.
Oh yeah, we're going to watch that too.
I'm so excited for that.
So and it was good, because it was definitely realistic in parts, but there was obviously like hamming it up for the drama. So there was the main character Sonny Hayes hadn't driven an F1 since he drove for I think Williams in the 90s when they had the yellow camel cars. And basically he was talking to, I think that was Williams, but anyway. Basically he was talking to,
wouldn't have a fucking clue.
He was talking to the F1 technical director and they helped develop parts for the car. And they were obviously going to fuck. But then the first 5 minutes of their on-screen time, it's like, oh, okay, so they're obviously just going to just clap some cheeks. And they did in Vegas, but it was he was talking about there's just, I get that tunnel vision where I just I feel like I'm flying when he's driving a car, which is fair. A lot of drivers have experienced that. Ayrton Senna experienced it in Monaco when he set his unbelievable pole lap in the 90s. But so it was the final lap of the race in Abu Dhabi, so the final race of the season. And all they need to do is win a race to save the team. They don't win any championships or anything because they started with 9 races left in the season to actually do something. And he's just like it's the obvious tunnel vision where there's no other sounds. He's just blasting through all the corners. And the team director, Ruben, who's played by Javier Bardem, who played the enemy in No Country for Old Men, which fucking rips.
Yeah.
He was like
Scrooge, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
Baby.
He was like, what is he doing? Is he? Oh, he's driving really fast. And then the F1 technical director, the chick, she's like, no, he's flying. And I was like,
oh, yuck,
gross, isn't it? And
cringe.
It's it's I get it. I get the drama. I get how it's like he's finally become one with the car. Even though he leaves and never goes back to F1 after that because he's 50 something, that would make him as old as like the F1 champions of the 50s. Yeah. But it's like, no, he's flying. And then it's like he wins the race because it was just
that has solidified that I'm never watching this fucking movie.
Honestly, apart from that, it's not bad. Like the realism's good, even though you can tell that the other drivers are going slow. And if because the car that they used, the Apex team cars, was an F2 car, but it was modified with F1 parts to look like an F1 car.
I see.
Still pretty good movie. Still fairly realistic. It's got all your favorite cameos. Martin Brundle. It's got Crofty, the commentary team. You've got all the drivers. Lewis Hamilton's in it because he's a producer. Roscoe, his dog, is in it as well. He's marked down as a producer because why the fuck not? But yeah, it's got all the drivers. It's got my least favorite driver, Lance Stroll. With the most realistic part of that movie is Lance Stroll being 12 seconds behind the rookie driver, and I'm like, yeah, that tracks because Lance Stroll is terrible. So that kind of made the movie like a 9 out of 10 for me.
I recognize Lewis Hamilton. Out of everyone you said, I recognize Lewis Hamilton because I'd and Lando Norris. Those are the 2 drivers that I know.
Who actually won the British Grand Prix?
I saw that
this weekend.
Yeah,
which was it was a good race. Big. Actually, probably the best race of the season, mainly because Nico Hülkenberg finally got his podium, his first ever podium in 239 race starts. Which is, if you're an F1 fan, you'll understand how big that is.
Yeah, I've got no fucking idea, but it sounds amazing.
Oh, honestly, it kind of brought the F1 community closer together because it was like of all this shit that's going on with McLaren just dominating the sport again, some beef going on between other drivers, like a driver in one of the slowest cars of the season getting a podium, his first podium is huge. So,
meant.
Yeah.
Why is it one of the slowest cars? Like if they're being competitive, why is it one of the slowest cars? How does that make sense?
Well, because they don't have the money of the other teams. So McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari.
Hold the fuck on. So the more money you have, the faster your car is because of the better, better parts, better engineering and shit. So if you have lots of, is there a cap on the money?
There's a cap on the money,
right?
And there's also there's a cap on the money and how much you can spend, but
per
you
car.
Also have to per team,
right?
So, so a lot of the team, the slowest team that Hülkenberg drives for is Stake F1.
Right.
And basically they don't have a lot of money because they're essentially a backmarker team, which means they are basically there to make up the numbers. Along with Alpine, they're a French team. They used to be Renault, then they were Lotus, and then were Renault, and it goes on. But your big 4 teams are Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren, and they have the most money because they are the most profitable. Mercedes, obviously, they're the most profitable because they sell they sell real world functioning cars.
Yeah.
And they're probably the most shopped brand. Red Bull's an energy drink. They're going to make billions. They also have 4-time world champion Max Verstappen racing for them. Ferrari, kind of goes without saying, Michael Schumacher was 7-time world champion, 5-time world champion with Ferrari, 2-time with Benetton.
Yeah.
And there's also Ferrari because, everyone loves Ferrari. And McLaren, one of the second oldest team in F1, so they have a lot of history, and they've also had a lot of world champions.
Yeah.
But they've...
Just to weirdly interject, that is the weirdest stitch I've ever had on a TikTok video. Was a German guy stitching a video where I connected to Michael Schumacher and yelling at me over the camera to his 2 or 3 followers, just it's pronounced Michael Schumacher. I was just whoa, shut up, dick. I don't fucking care for a start. The cunt's a vegetable. He's not going to fight me. You know what I mean? It's everywhere else in the world he's known as Michael Schumacher. Chill the fuck out. But it was just so aggressive.
He even
I'll send you the
says
video
it
later.
When Michael Schumacher speaks English, he does say himself Schumacher. Obviously, when he's speaking Deutsch, he's going to say how he's going to properly pronounce his name as intended.
Yeah.
But as the majority of the world is English speaking, and he is an icon in the sport, he's going to speak English, or was.
I'll see if I can find the video and send it to you, because this guy gets really aggressive as to how I pronounce Michael Schumacher.
Yeah. Or it's with Nico Hülkenberg, it's actually Hülkenberg, because he's... I can't remember where he's from, but it's it's not Hülkenberg. It's not how you'd say it.
Right.
It's Hülkenberg. It's there's the umlauts on the U.
Right. So you
I could go on and on about
yourself.
F1. I could go on and on about F1.
Oh, look,
I love the sport. I love the stats.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of from an outside person looking in, it sounds awful, and it's not. That is not a dig at F1. That is not a dig at you. That is not a dig at enjoyers of the sport, because I have a lot of friends that are into F1. A lot of the people I follow online are into F1. A lot of football influencers and people like that are also really heavily into F1. Will and E, FNG, Chris Dixon, all those guys. They're all into F1 in a big way as well. And it, for me, I've tried to play the game, and I tried to watch it, and I tried to look at stats and other bits and pieces, and it keeps solidifying for me that it's a sport that I don't think I will ever get into.
You you kind of need a moment to get into. So I didn't start watching Formula One until around about the end of 2021.
Right.
And that was when the infamous Abu Dhabi Grand Prix took place. It was the season finale. You'd been following it up the whole season. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton ahead of the pack in 2 completely different cars. One of my favorite YouTubers, Rocket Powered Mohawk, put it perfectly. It was Lewis Hamilton, a legend of the sport, defending his multiple world championships against this young up-and-comer who's a threat to that. And obviously there was the big controversy with the race director unlapping all the cars between just Hamilton and Verstappen. And then there was the last lap, which shouldn't have been the last lap. It should have finished under the safety car, because you need 2 laps under the safety car to clear all the debris from a crashed car, but he allowed 1 more lap of just racing. And then Verstappen obviously wins that, takes home his first world championship. Very well, both of them deserved it. So it was whoever won that race basically got it. But that was the moment that got me properly into F1, because it's that's probably the most dramatic moment in the sport for many years. But it's also the one of the most controversial moments in sports history, because it's basically it's the rules being thrown out the window in favor of just pure racing. So, but I could go deeply into it, because a lot of shit happened that day, and leading up to that race. But I won't, because we'd be here for hours.
Yeah, I think because you couldn't pay me to give a fuck about that shit, but the way you've just described it is it sounds interesting enough that I would watch highlights or something. I wouldn't go out of my way to get up at 2:00 in the morning I would for a football game.
I don't do that.
It's
that is because there are probably 3 races that comfortable enough for us Kiwis to get up for, and that's the Australian Grand Prix, which is in the afternoon, usually at the start of the year. There's the Japanese Grand Prix, because we're located close, and the Singapore Grand Prix. All the other ones are at like between 12 and between midnight and 2 a.m. Fuck that.
Yeah,
if I'm staying up during the weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
But and I also would need to find a free live stream because I'm not paying $50 for Sky Sports. Fuck that.
Fuck Sky Sports. Like, and if anyone who works at Sky is listening to this right now, firstly, subscribe. Secondly, fuck you in such a big way.
Yeah, it's cringe.
Like, the fact that you guys hoard all of the good football and then you charge cunts $50 a month, fuck you heaps. You are the worst kind of company. Yeah. And I'm not just salty because our parents gave up their sports subscription.
Those bastards.
Yeah, okay. That I was kind of using Sky Sports Now, the app, so I could watch Prem during the year, and I make sure I get up nice and early to beat my stepbrother to it because he would try to log in and they would say you're already logged in somewhere else. Man, unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just how fucking it happens. But, I'll just find a live stream. Simple as that.
Just go on Discord. There'll be groups dedicated to free live streams. Because there'll be people that will just live stream but then share their screen to like a massive Discord server. That's how I watched the F1 race when we were in the UK.
That rips. I didn't know about that.
And also the fact that that Miss Sally's house had fucking Sky. So we could watch that, right. And then I could watch Man United get ripped apart by Newcastle.
Yeah, that was not a good day. Yeah, I am kind of glad we didn't go to that game, to be completely honest, because that was on the cards because we were already going to be in Edinburgh. So on the way down, I was going to rejig it so that we ended up in Newcastle because I'd love to go to Newcastle anyway. I fucking love Geordie's, and our cousin lives there currently. Like we could have gone and seen her, as well as gone and seen St James's Park, and it would have been. I reckon it would have been really cool. But we had other plans. But Up the tune. I did get to. They just signed Anthony Elanga as well.
They did.
Yeah, I saw that. It's that's unfortunate for Nottingham Forest, to be honest, because he's a fucking player.
But fortunate for us because we get $8 million out of the deal. So
do we?
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be a signing. Well, not a signing bonus, but it's essentially
transfer bonus.
A sell on clause.
Sell on clause. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we missed out on Victor.
I play a lot of manager mode, so I know.
We missed out on Victor Gyökeres. I wanted I wanted him to play for us so badly, dude. And I was talking to someone about this today, and they were like, "Oh, what if he comes to the Prem and he's a flop?" No, he is a big, strong, goal-scoring machine. Like now that Arsenal have him, like he took a £2 million pay cut, €2 million pay cut. Dumped his misses, so nothing ties him to Portugal, and is essentially knocking down the door at Arsenal after having 96 goal involvements in one season, which is crazy numbers, even for Portuguese football. That's including Champions League football as well. Dude's a monster, and they've got Zubamendi now as well. As a United fan, I fucking hate to say this out loud, but Arsenal have a chance of winning the Prem this season. Sorry,
better than Liverpool winning it. R.I.P. Diogo Jota, actually.
Oh, that was actually really big. I don't know if we talked about that last week, but that was huge.
It happened earlier this week.
Yeah,
it happened afterward. Yeah,
that's
I mean, that was like I woke up, I was like, fuck, that's rough. Like it's it's a time for football rivalries to be forgotten about and.
At least temporarily.
I think because their first game is, I think it's at St James's Park against Newcastle.
Oh, okay.
And when Christian Atsu died, they sung, because he used to play for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Before he passed away, I think in an accident in Turkey. I think when there was an earthquake. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, and they sung along with the Newcastle fans. So I think the Newcastle fans are going to do something like that. They'll probably sing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Yeah, they'll probably do "You'll Never Walk Alone." Because that's huge. Like that's Yeah, because
a young man that just got married earlier that week.
2 weeks earlier, yeah.
Yeah, won the Nations League, won the Premier League. Not deserved. And his brother as well. All right, yeah.
Taken way too soon, man. And no one knows if they were speeding. I don't know if they were. Apparently, he just lost control. He was driving a very nice Lamborghini. So
that's like that. That'll be a contributing factor because it's a Lamborghini. They're not built for safety. They're built for speed.
That's right.
So,
But yeah, like it's regardless of whether or not he's a Liverpool player, like that's 100% besides the point. This is a young man whose life has been taken because, I don't know if like I say, I don't know if it was his driving. I don't know if he's just lost control of the car or the car's shit itself at random. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that a young man and his brother are dead now, and that's the shitty part. Is it's like he was 28, and I think his brother was like 25 or 26. And I think, like, I don't know, man. It's awful. It's fucking awful. And that's...
real sad news for not only Liverpool, but for the footballing world.
Yeah.
In total.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also really, really good to see that there's been I haven't seen, personally, any comments of like, oh, it's only a Liverpool player. I haven't seen anything like that. I've just seen everyone like, fuck that. That is so sad.
People of the generation before us would be inclined to say some horrible fucking shit. But
because they're a bunch of fucking hooligans that used to throw bricks at at rival fans. Like, get over yourself.
Cunts are pigs, bro. Like, it's just, it's disgusting. You know who you fucking are as well. Like, I know exactly. I know. You and I both know one person that would have said something fucking awful straight off the bat. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with zero empathy and zero fucking forethought, just malice and unnecessary evil. That's the kind of shit you keep to your fucking self, especially when a young man's life's been taken. Like, two young men, actually. They're roughly our age as well, which is kind of the hardest pill to swallow here, is like, this dude has achieved more in his 28 years than you and I will probably achieve in our entire lives. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Even just in the realm, like, not even in the realms of football, just in terms of his financial success and his overall happiness and all that kind of shit. Like, he was levels above, average Joes, average Jotters. But it's, I feel like when someone's life gets taken that early and they don't get to experience what the rest of what life had to offer, it makes me want to double down. It makes me want to double down and go harder at what I want to do than what I was already doing. Like, that's because it kind of, you have to sort of lead by that example of, like, obviously I'm never going to be driving a fucking Lamborghini on the coast of Italy and crash, because I won't ever be in a Lamborghini on the coast of Italy. So, but
I have been in a Lamborghini just in Vegas.
Yeah, but I could be levels. I could be in a fucking Toyota on the coast of the Lake Taupo, and a
Hyundai.
Yeah, it's such a nice car. Honestly, I fucking love that car. It's got ABS brakes. It's the first car I've owned that was like made after the year 2000. So
my first car was the Mini that I had. That was 2007.
Yeah.
God, I miss that car every day. What a fucking wagon.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have any Bluetooth, that was beautiful. Just a beautiful car.
Yep. One of the windows didn't work.
No, they both worked.
Oh, which was the car where the windows didn't work?
That was the BMW.
Oh, was it the Beamer? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the windows didn't demist. And the driver's side and passenger side windows, once they wound down, they didn't wind up.
I'm sure Ron the Honda was the same with the passenger window.
Worked. That was after. No, they both worked. I think initially it didn't work, but we got it fixed.
Right. Okay. Because I remember vaping and not being able to blow it out of the window when I vaped. Cringe.
And then you vaped directly into my face
all the time. Yeah, because it was
all
hilarious.
The time. Yeah.
If you still vape and you're listening to this, cringe. But grow up, bro. Honestly, grow up. It's so bad for you.
I've never vaped.
No, and it's,
so
it's not. I can stand.
I can sit on my high horse, and then immediately get off because I was an avid stoner for over a year. So.
Yeah, like it's
Good
I
times.
feel like the occasional.
times.
I feel like the occasional toke isn't bad. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, I haven't in ages.
No, I can't because panic attacks.
but-
I literally can't. Without
But then sometimes I'll listen to
out.
music like Maggot Brain by Funkadelic. I'll be like, man, you know, sometimes I just want to hear Mother Earth is pregnant for the third time, and I'm like, that would sound really good if I was high as fuck now.
Yeah,
good song, but like I've got a playlist on my phone. It's like Oons for When My Eyes Are Nearly Closed, and that's the first song, and then it's Summer Madness. I think the Isley Brothers are in there.
Oh, that's a good show.
There's just so many. I think The Sacred Souls is in there too, because it's like your eyes are almost closed, but then your eyebrows go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it's that sort of like neo soul drowned in reverb vibe. That's that sort of like, can I call
rock
you
hard?
Rose? Like, and you're just sort of like, well, you can call me anything you like, man. Just keep singing me.
That and Future Lover, like the when he sings, like he's like, knock 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 knock, and I'm like, God. Shit.
But like, so in terms of different songs for different drugs, I can't stand the Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? So
yeah, there's maybe like one or two songs of theirs that I like. I think it's that's a lie. I like quite a few of their songs, but there's one I can't remember the name of it, but it's from Stadium Arcadium, and it's
probably Danny California.
Nah, it's not Danny California. It's not. No. It's not really like one of their their mainstream songs. Let me find it.
So probably, while you're finding it,
Strip My Mind.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. So like one of the hardest trips I ever had, I took way too many mushrooms, and I was being babysat by various flatmates. And one of my flatmates had these really nice studio speakers, and they chucked on Sir Psycho Sexy by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you've heard it, you'll know what I mean. The bass comes in and it's wow, 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 wow. It's got a flanger on it. It sounds great. And I proceeded to have one of the hardest trips I've ever had. Full on ego death when I was in this trip. Like, it was just an incredible experience. I wish I could go back and do it again because it was just insane. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, no, the reason why I brought up the Red Hot Chili Peppers is because I was going to close out this podcast by mentioning a story that happened to us not this week but last week that I forgot to mention on the podcast. My disdain for the Red Hot Chili Peppers won us a $150 meat pack from Homegrown Deli and Pantry, right? So
shout out Homegrown Butcher.
Yeah, so for you viewers out there and listeners, I hopped into my car, my new car, my Hyundai i40 2012. I really like my car. I really do. It's probably not flash by anyone else's standards, but I fucking love this car. Anyway, and I couldn't be bothered connecting my Bluetooth to the stereo, which is very lazy because all it takes is me to jump on Spotify and hit the Bluetooth button on my device, on my console, but I decided not to do that. Turned up the radio instead, and it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I was like, I actually can't be fucked listening to this. And so I changed it to the sound, and it was something trash. Sometimes they have gems on there, sometimes they have trash. And then I think to add insult to injury, I went to More FM. And there was some sort of like unsty, whatever the fuck. Like, it was just like a late night remix jam type shit. And so I just left it on. And then I got home and I turned off the radio and I got out of the car and I was like, God, Dean will have to just change it to whatever she wants to change it to in the morning when she drops the kids off. Cut to the following morning and I get a text from Jordan saying, hey man, I'm pretty sure I just heard your wife on the radio. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm pretty sure she just won a meat raffle. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I got a call from her saying, yeah, I've just won a $150 meat pack. And I was like, that's insane. Like, and I was just like, how did you win that? It's like, oh, if they said if you text in this number that you go in the draw for the meat thing. So I pulled over and I text the number and I was like, on what radio station? She's like, More FM. And I was like, so because I didn't want to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers and I changed the station, we ended up winning a meat pack. So, like, big up the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you made good music, we would not have won the meat pack. So, yeah, always good. Always a plus.
Yeah.
All right. True. But it is 10:30 on this fine Tuesday evening. And in less than 12 hours, this will be up and ready to go on Spotify and YouTube. I am going to go and nap it seriously hard after I've processed this episode. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. So I am going to leave you all with a meat pack oosh.
And I will leave you all with watch out for a potential stream in the near future. Oosh.
In the near future.
In the near future. In the near future.
Future. We'll come up with something. There'll be something there.
Yeah.
All right, oosh.
Bye.